shell shock?
He never complained of anything.
One final question, Lady Lawton. Do you now believe your husband, the plaintiff in this action, is really Mark Ludden? Well, is he or is he not Sir Mark Ludden?
I don't know. I don't know!
Well, Sir Wilfrid, have you decided to adopt any particular course? Is this case to go to the jury?
Our position, my lord, is very difficult. But I fear I must yield to my client's insistent desire that I should exercise the right your lordship reserved to me. The right to recall the plaintiff on the question of the uniform jacket, which was produced by Dr. Flaudon yesterday.
I believe I did reserve that. Your client has the right to give his evidence on that one point.
Sir Mark, will you go into the witness box, please?
Seems to be under great strain. He can, if he likes, give his evidence sitting down.
Thank you, my lord.
Sir Mark, you had an opportunity yesterday of seeing the uniform jacket produced by Dr. Flaudon.
Yes?
You admit it's a rifle brigade jacket?
Well, most certainly. I have no doubt that jacket was mine.
Silence! You identify the jacket as yours?
Oh, yes, my lord.
Do you mean your uniform was on number 15 when he was found by Dr. Flaudon?
I do.
I should very much like to know why.
We are coming to that, my lord. Will you tell the court, Sir Mark, how your jacket came to be on number 15?
Yes, well, you see, Buckingham was speaking the truth when he said he went foraging that night, leaving Welney and me together. He was away a very long time. We thought he'd been caught. So Welney went to look for him. When neither Welney nor Buckingham came back, I began to creep along the edge of the wood towards the town. Suddenly, I bumped into a German soldier. He was as frightened as I was. Without a word, he fired off his rifle before he'd put it to his shoulder. The bullet hit my hand, and that's when I lost my finger.
Yes, what happened then?
I dashed in and wrenched the rifle out of the man's hands. He put up his arm to save himself, and I brought the butt down on his head. He dropped like a stone. It was horrible.
Go on.
Then I suddenly realized where I stood. I'd lost my two companions. I felt sure they'd been caught. And on top of that, I'd killed a German soldier, and that meant certain death if they found me. The only chance of getting through was to get out of my uniform and get into a German one. So I changed with the man I thought I had killed. Of course, I took everything out of my own pockets. If I hadn't made the change, I'd never have got through, never.
Is there anything else you wish to add, Sir Mark?
Only this. Unless someone changed the uniform again after I got away, that poor devil whom Dr. Flaudon saved is not an Englishman at all. He is that German soldier.
That will be all, Sir Mark. Mr. Foxley?
Thank you. Tell me, witness, are you sure that you're fit for cross-examination? Whatever view the jury may take, there's no doubt you've had a great shock.
Yes, I've had a great shock. Yet in some ways I feel fitter to answer your questions than I was 2 days ago.
No. What does that mean?
That shock seems to have brought a few things back to me. I believe I might be able to tell you a bit more now of pre-war events than I could then.
Very interesting. When you first gave evidence, did I hear you take the oath?
Of course.
To tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Then why didn't you tell the whole truth?
I thought I did.
Thought you did? Why didn't we hear a word of this encounter with the German soldier?
I didn't think it mattered.
Oh, didn't think it mattered. And if it was true, why suppress it?
Can't you see it was only yesterday that I knew that poor devil was still alive? Whether I'm Frank Welney or not had nothing to do with that German soldier until you produced that jacket.
Oh, and when did you first tell this story to anyone?
This morning, to Sir Wilfrid.
Did you never tell your wife?
No.
And why not?
I didn't want her to associate me with that sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
I've told you the way I killed him.
I have a note of what you said. I brought the butt down on his head. He dropped like a stone.
Yes.
Is that all the truth? Have we got it all even now?
No, not all. I'll tell you. He gave a dreadful scream and fell down, helpless. I had to finish him off. I had to. If I was to have a chance of getting away, getting home, seeing...
Take your time, Sir Mark.
How many more blows?
How can I tell? I've tried to forget all these years. I can't think of it even now.
So we seem to be right. You are a man capable of brutal murder.
Did you ever serve in the war, Mr. Foxley?
Learned counsel do not expose themselves to questions when they're cross-examining.
I don't want his answer. If he can't see the difference between murdering a fellow captive and killing an enemy soldier who has fired on you...
Yes. Well, let's not get off the subject, please. Can you produce a shred of evidence that would substantiate this story?
No. No, it depends on my word.
With nothing to support it. And what became of the German uniform you say you escaped in?
I burnt it. I wanted to forget.
That seems unfortunate. It might have given the name or regimental number of your mythical German.
I can give you the poor devil's name and regimental number.
Never mind the number. Perhaps I can tell you the name. Wasn't it Mark Loudon?
No, it was not.
My lord, it doesn't appear to interest my learned friend, but I'm sure it will interest the jury. Sir Mark, I want you to tell the court the name of that German soldier.
It was Karl Geist.
Karl Geist. Are you certain of that name?
Yes, my lord.
How?
Here it is on his identity disc.
Let me see it.
Here, my lord.
You swear this was on the body of the German soldier whose uniform you exchanged for your own that night at Stablo?
I do.
And you've kept it all these years?
Yes, my lord.
Has anyone beside yourself ever known of the retention?
No, my lord. I've kept it locked up.
It seems to me it becomes increasingly difficult for a jury to give a verdict in this case.
My lord, I only want the verdict of the jury for the sake of one person, and that is my son. I've already lost the only verdict I wanted for myself.
No, Mark. I believe you. I believe you, Mark.
Silence! Has the witness anything more to say?
My lord,
Yes.
something has just come back to me.
And what is it?
May I look at my jacket?
Certainly. Pass the jacket to the plaintiff. Well,
Will someone lend me a knife?
a knife? What for?
I want to cut something I sewed in the back of my breast pocket.
Something you sewed in?
2 50-mark notes and...
I don't know
and-
if we can let you mutilate an exhibit.
Oh, my lord, I've admitted it's my jacket. And you can see where I sewed it up.
Where you sewed it? You sewed something in the lining?
Yes, my lord.
When did you do that?
Oh, when I was at Hobheim. If I might have a knife to cut these stitches.
You may. Who has a pocket knife? Here, my lord. Give it to the witness.
Thank you. Before I started to escape from Hobheim with Welney and Buckingham, I wasn't too sure of my companions or what might happen to things in my pockets. I don't seem to have been far wrong. So I sewed inside the lining of this breast pocket a photograph and 2 50-mark notes. If this is my jacket, they should be here now.
Well, cut it. Cut the lining.
Yes, of course, yes. Yeah.
Well?
Here are the notes. And here is the photograph.
May I see the photograph, Sir Mark?
It was taken many years ago, but I suppose you can recognize it. It all begins to come back to me, my lord. This is the first photograph my wife gave me when we were engaged. I took it with me to France. I always had it in that pocket.
I see something is written on it. To Darling?
Need that be read aloud, my lord?
I think it should. Members of the jury, on this photograph, these words are written. To Darling Mark, with all my love, Enid.
With all my love.
Mark!
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Foxley?
My lord, my client has made a great mistake. We are more than sorry for the great trouble we have caused. This man is obviously Sir Mark Loudon.
Oh, my darling. I'm so ashamed. Can you ever forgive me?
You didn't know. I hardly knew myself at times.
Oh, Mark, you're so tired. Will you come home with me, Mark? Will you?
Enid.
Sir Mark.
Yes, my lord?
Sir Mark, before you leave, may I hope that something more than a name has been recovered by this trial?
My lord?
I cannot believe that the merciful providence which allowed Sir Mark and Lady Loudon to come together after all the dangers of the war will not again avail to bring them through this final tribulation.
My lord, you may rest assured on that point. My wife and I are going home.
just a moment, Mr. DeMille brings back Ronald Colman for a curtain call. Some people call men the logical sex, say that women go by intuition, not reason. Well, I think women are logical, and I'll tell you why. For a long time, we've been giving them good reasons for using new Quick Lux Flakes for dishes. Now, we're sure that they are acting on those reasons because more and more they are using new Quick Lux for their dishes. The reason for doing this is simple. There is a great difference between harsh soaps and gentle Lux Flakes. New Quick Lux contains no harmful alkali, nothing to irritate the skin, nothing to leave it coarse, rough, dry. That's why, in hundreds of dramatic one-hand tests, Lux proved so much kinder to hands. These tests, as I've told you, were absolutely impartial, made by a well-known scientific laboratory. They included 5 soaps widely used for dishes. In the tests, each woman dipped one hand in Lux suds, the other in suds from a different soap. The Lux hands remained amazingly soft, smooth, and lovely, while the other hands became distressingly red and rough. Now, you can easily prove this difference in your own dishpan. If you've been using a harsh soap, just change to new Quick Lux for your dishes. You'll see the difference in your hands very soon. It's such an inexpensive way to have soft, lovely hands in spite of dishwashing. Get the generous big box of Lux Flakes tomorrow and start using it right away. Now, here's Mr. DeMille with our star.
I've known our star and admired his art for a good many years. I think tonight's performance was one of the finest he's ever given. As he comes back to our microphone now, we take our hats off to Ronald Colman.
Oh, my thanks to you, C.B., and to Otto Kruger and Francis Robinson for their fine performances. I'm very proud to be a member of your company this week. Each time I've come here, you've surpassed your reputation as a host.
Our only complaint, Ronnie, is that you don't come often enough.
As one sailor to another, C.B., don't go overboard. I might wear out my welcome.
We'll take a chance on that. Right now, Ronnie, I've received instructions from a good many of our audience to get a firm answer from you to a certain question.
Well, I've been on the stand most of the evening. One more can't hurt.
The suggestion is that you pin down all the rumors and tell us what your next picture is going to be.
It'll be with RKO, and at the moment, it's My Life with Caroline. So before we get through, it may have another title. Now, I've a question for you, C.B.
You may fire one ready, Ronnie.
Well, it's about another picture, Land of Liberty, the film which you edited and assembled for the entire motion picture industry. I understand it's going to be released very soon.
Yes, on January 24th, to be exact. You see, Land of Liberty was made originally for the 2 World Fairs as a kind of story of America in motion pictures. It has literally dozens of stars in scenes taken from 112 different motion pictures and many newsreels. But a great many people didn't get a chance to see it at the fairs. So now it's going to be shown in theaters throughout the country. Because of the nature of the picture and its timeliness as a living saga of our country, all the proceeds are being given to charity. So I have no hesitation in recommending Land of Liberty to every loyal American.
It's a great subject, and it's for a great cause, C.B., and I know the whole country is looking forward to seeing it. Now, I think the audience is anxious to hear about your play for next week.
And it's something to tell the world about, Ronnie. Next Monday night, we're going to have Merle Oberon and Gene Autry in The Cowboy and the Lady. It'll be Gene's first appearance in the Lux Radio Theater, but he'll be right at home in the part of a reckless and romantic buckaroo. And you'll hear Merle Oberon in the same role she played in the Samuel Goldwyn picture, The Cowboy and the Lady.
And I, for one, won't miss it. Good night.
Good night, Ronnie. Good night. That applause is your second verdict tonight. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Gene Autry and Merle Oberon in The Cowboy and the Lady. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Francis Robinson is currently seen in the Columbia picture So You Won't Talk. Heard in tonight's play were Vernon Steele as Sir Wilfrid, Alec Hofford as Buckingham, Jeff Corey as Dr. Flaudon, Eric Snowden as Judge, Jack Lewis as his associate,
Noreen Gamil as waitress, and Lou Merrill as Miles. Our music is directed by Louis Silvers. Our Lux Radio Theater production of Libel has come to you with the good wishes of the makers of new Quick Lux Flakes, the tissue-thin soap flakes used by smart housewives everywhere and by the great motion picture studios to protect the $1 million wardrobes that you see on the screen. Join us again next week. Be part of the coast-to-coast audience that gathers each week to enjoy this hour of dramatic entertainment. This is your announcer, Melville Ruick, bidding you good night. And this is the Columbia Broadcasting System.